Last year when I reviewed the new and improved ASUS Zenbook Duo OLED, I praised the device for its innovative design and almost future-like features. As we enter 2025, ASUS has the latest iteration of the Zenbook Duo OLED for us, and there are only a few subtle changes to this model. For starters, ASUS has of course slapped as much AR marketing onto this product as possible. This was something sorely missing in last year's device, given how the big boom of AR tech didn't really happen until about mid-2024. This means that the new ASUS Zenbook Duo OLED now comes with an Intel Core Ultra 9 Series 2 processor with dedicated AI engines thanks to the built-in NPU. The new CPU also means better performance and battery life, as the Intel Core Ultra 2 series has been improved in that regard. Outside of the CPU bump, you're pretty much getting the same overall product here with the exact excellent 3K OLED panels that have been expertly calibrated by ASUS. The unit also comes with the same versatile design that lets you operate the product in notebook mode, dual screen mode with and without a keyboard, desktop mode and sharing mode. This is thanks to the large dual displays that again are simply superb on this device. While the notebook hasn't seen much change from a design or technical perspective, I don't see where ASUS could really go with this notebook. It already comes with 32GB of LPDDR5X RAM, 2TB of SSD storage, a 75Wh battery, and a fair share of decent ports that make all work and productivity a breeze. There's also Wi-Fi 7 support this year, which is nice to see if you're one of the few people who have Wi-Fi 7 routers. If this is a new product to you, the ASUS Zenbook Duo OLED is essentially a notebook tablet hybrid that is delivered by two 14-inch 16x10 OLED panels on the top and the bottom. In the box, you'll get the device itself, a half-size backlit keyboard, which is paired to the unit through Bluetooth or magnetically attached to the bottom of the display. When attached, it turns off the bottom display, and from the outside, the device looks like your everyday OLED Zenbook. ASUS markets this keyboard as full size, but it really isn't. There's no number pad on this keyboard here, and it doesn't support the screen pad feature, which adds the number pad to the trackpad. Actually, now that I say that, ASUS could totally add the screen pad feature to this trackpad. It would likely be the only thing they can actually do to this product. The keyboard is great though. Typing feels like any other standard notebook with a decent key travel of 1.4mm. It feels like there hasn't been any compromise on the keyboard at all in order to deliver a detachable and slim accessory. It is also backlit and fairly bright. The same goes for the trackpad. It is smooth and the large size makes it great for gestures. The notebook tablet part of this device is just as intuitive. The two displays look fantastic at every angle. Opening and closing the device can be done with one hand, and folding the notebook open flat on the table is smooth and requires very little effort. The top panel is where you'll find the webcam and the IR sensor. This HD webcam is good enough for most people. The Windows Copilot features will also help clean up your video calls on the device. You'll then find all the ports on the bottom panel. On the left hand side, there's a USB Type-A 3.2 Gen 1 port and a USB-C Thunderbolt 4 port. ASUS has also included the audio jack combo port here. On the right hand side, there's an HDMI 2.0 port and a second USB-C Thunderbolt 4 port. Either of these ports can be used for charging the device with the included 65W charger in the box. Oh, and the keyboard also has a USB-C port for charging the battery in the unit too. You'll also find the power button and LED indicators on the bottom panel. Then right at the bottom of this panel is the magnetic pins for the keyboard. The lower part of the ASUS Zenbook Duo OLED also includes a metal kickstand, which is used to prop up the unit to whatever angle you wish. The kickstand is also used as a sort of easel to stand the unit in desktop mode and support the weight. I don't have much to complain about with the design of the ASUS Zenbook Duo OLED. While it is identical to last year's model, there isn't much ASUS could do here. The displays are wonderful to use and every display mode on the unit felt easy to get into. The keyboard types well and the general use and maneuverability of the unit was a breeze. It goes without saying that this product also supports the ASUS Stylus 2.0, so artists will have the opportunity to take advantage of the double displays here too. What I really wanted to test out on this product was the performance. Given the shift to the Intel Core Ultra 9 Series 2, I was curious to see just how much more power we could get from the device. I ran tests across a number of AI benchmarks and CPU-based benchmarks to see where we stood. Here are the results I got. The unit performed as I expected, better than the 2024 model, but that isn't to say that last year's model was incredibly powerful or weak. The devices are mainly designed for designers and people who need two highly calibrated screens for their daily use, not so much for people rendering animations and exporting massive 4K videos. Apart from that, the ASUS Zenbook Duo OLED performed across all other aspects. The speaker provided loud and punchy playback for consuming content, and the screens are again brilliant and shine when watching HDR videos. ASUS has added the recent Intel Lunar Lake chips to its ExpertBook lineup. This means that the lightweight and portable notebooks now pack AI chips from Intel along with all the advantages the company hopes to get from them. Lunar Lake boasts impressive battery life. The device can get a bit warm with heavy use, especially when charging it and using it at the same time. You'll also hear the odd fan rev up every now and then as it kicks into gear to cool the CPU down. It isn't remotely distracting most of the time. If you have the unit in performance mode, it will be more of an issue, as I measured 45 decibels during this mode and 50 decibels with the fan maxed out. Then there's the battery. Given the two displays, the battery here is all about how much of the unit you end up using. On low power mode with 50% brightness on one display only, you'll get about 15 hours of battery life. Enable that second screen and it's going to go down to around 7 hours. If you're driving this notebook heavy, say perhaps gaming on the battery, it will last only around 2 hours with one display enabled. But I would say that the sweet spot here is to expect around 11 hours with one display turned on at 50% brightness and around 5 hours with two displays on the same brightness. Essentially, this isn't the best battery life I have seen, but considering both displays, it makes sense. Overall, the Zenbook Duo OLED does the job. It is a product designed for those who know exactly what it is and what it can do. Is it a substantial improvement over last year? Not really, unless you're taking into account the AI, which again not everybody needs. But this is still one of the most innovative products on the market. So those are my thoughts on the ASUS Zenbook Duo OLED. Are you looking to pick one up? Let me know in the comments down below. Huge thanks to ASUS for sending this my way to review. I had a good time with it. While you're here, please do consider liking and subscribing for more content like this, and visit glitch.online for more gaming tech news and reviews. Until next time, farewell.